Welcome to Donnatella Virtual College, the home of Business Data Analytics, offered and examined by KASNEB. Our motto is accessible, convenient, and affordable learning. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will take 5 seconds to subscribe. Please let's subscribe before we forget. Okay, now we'll continue, hoping that you have subscribed. We also offer various learning experiences as displayed. For inquiries, enrollment, and additional information, visit our website or directly WhatsApp us via the links provided in the description box down below.
So we shall start an overview of business data analytics. So we are just starting afresh because of the numbers and the notes. Remember, I sent them in the group, but again, I'll be also sending them. So this is a practical paper. It is 240 hours, that is 3 hours. Recommended tool is Microsoft Excel and R programming language, of which most of the exams, the R programming language has not been included. So some concepts which may be requiring R programming languages, we look at them, but I don't think it's not very much. Then so like I will just go to the table of contents. We start with the introduction to Excel. So we go to utilizing keyboards, data analysis, using data tables, pivot tables, and other common functions. Then to advanced, then we'll go to introduction to data analytics. So for the class that we were having, we had covered introduction to Excel. We also covered introduction to data analytics. We looked also at big data analytics. So we were looking at data visualization in Excel because we had covered up to here. And I can just take to you, you can see that the theory part is not much. Then the other theory that you have is behind here, the emerging issues in data analytics, isn't it? So theory is not very much. Then on the application part or the practical part now, we have core applications in financial reporting, where we do preparation of financial statements. We go to analysis, then we go to forecasting, we carry out sensitivity, then visualization and dashboard. Then we go to management, where we'll do time value analysis of money, loan amortization schedules, project evaluation, sensitivity and dashboards. You can see that the sensitivity and the dashboard there, we can cover them in one because it's just one and the same thing, isn't it? We can just cover them in one of the so that because we can finish the syllabus on time, isn't it? Then we go to management accounting. So here is in specialized areas where we look at regression analysis and high-low. Here we look at CVP analysis. Here break-even analysis. Then budget preparation, including flexible budget. Scenario analysis. Here, remember, we'll have something like the cash budget, isn't it? Also flexible budget, maybe productions budget, isn't it? Then we go to auditing. Auditing, we look at trend analysis of key financial statement components. Remember here, we are just looking at key financial statement components, isn't it? And if you look here in financial reporting, there's analysis of financial statement, isn't it? So you can see that some concepts are repeating themselves, isn't it? Then pre-order matching, fraud detection, test controls, sampling, then model review and validation issues. So this one we also look at it. Then we go to taxation and public financial management, where we look at computation of tax of individuals and companies. The normal way we are doing it in the previous sections, including the partnership, isn't it? Like last sitting, they were brought the partnership, then preparing wear and tear deduction schedules. Then we go to analysis of public sector financial statements, budget preparation, then analysis of public debt, then data visualization and reporting in public sector, isn't it? Visualization, we would have already covered it, isn't it? And this is the other theory. So my approach will be, we will cover all the theory. So we'll start with the introduction to Excel, introduction to data analytics. Then we also cover emerging issues in data analytics before we finally embark on practical. Remember, the practical part is 80 marks, while the theoretical part is 20 marks. So the practical part, question 21 and 22, compulsory questions carrying 30 marks each, and it will be in Excel, and it will be practical, isn't it? Then the other one on specialized areas will carry 20 marks, while theory will also carry the rest, the 20. So maybe starting on introduction to Excel, let me just share the PowerPoint presentation. Okay, we'll continue. So we'll start again afresh on introduction to Excel. So this is the first theory part of it. So we'll start by utilizing shortcut keyboards in Excel. So there, I can say that again, just a repetition of the class. There are some various keyboard shortcuts in Excel that we use so that it can enable us to be faster enough, isn't it? Remember, the exam is just 3 hours only. So you must at least be fast enough, isn't it? So we'll start with just a basic explanation saying keyboard shortcuts in Excel can save a lot of time and help you work more efficiently. Here are some of the most commonly used Excel keyboard shortcuts. Number one, we have selecting cells, isn't it? So if you want to select a cell, so we start by entire column. So for the entire column, you press Control Space, isn't it, to select the entire column. I think again I'll have to share some Excel file. I think there's some opened. So here is the file we are using. Here's what I'm saying. So this one will be on preparation of financial statement, isn't it? So we are saying to select a column. Columns are the ones labeled above here, isn't it? Maybe let me just take a new cell, a new sheet, isn't it? So the columns are the A, B, C, D here, while the rows are. So to select a column, you are saying is Control Space, isn't it? You have selected the whole column, isn't it? For example, you can put some word here, isn't it? So like you are selecting this column with Control Space, isn't it? On your keyboard, you just press Control Space, isn't it? So maybe if you want to add the column, you press Control Shift Plus, isn't it? You'll see that you have added another column here because this one has moved, isn't it? Then to select a row, it is Shift Space, isn't it? So you press Shift Space, you'll see it as selected a row, isn't it? You can just use this example, Shift Space, isn't it? If you want to add it, Control Shift Plus, isn't it? You see it has added the cell, isn't it? Maybe you can add it on from the top, so Shift Plus, then Control Shift Plus, isn't it? You have added the cell. It will be very important when we come there in front. Then again, let's continue here. So we have talked of selecting the entire column and also selecting the entire row with Shift Space and Control Space. Now to select the entire worksheet, you press Control A. To select multiple non-adjacent cells, isn't it? So there are cells that they have skipped, isn't it? They are not together. You press Control and click on the cells, isn't it? So in Excel here it is. So we said to select the entire worksheet, you press Control A, isn't it? You have selected the entire worksheet, isn't it? For example, we can even have values here, isn't it? So like we are working with these values and we want to just make our values, e.g. maybe have B to be comma separated and the negative values to have 1, isn't it? So you can just press Control 1, then you click on the comma cell, is it? So that one will take all the values that are there, they will be comma separated and negative values will be in brackets, isn't it? So if you want to make, maybe I want to change the typeface. The typeface is the how it is written, isn't it? Control A. So I come here to typeface. Maybe I want to use times new Roman, isn't it? I write there times new Roman. I select it. You've seen that it has changed. We can try using maybe the one that is like this one. It changes everything in the cell. Now we have to select multiple non-adjacent cells. We can use the example like I think this one. So this one was just preparation, I think. Yes, we can use an example like this one. So we want to select non-adjacent cells, isn't it? Like for example, we want to select our gross profit, our profit before tax, and our net profit. So you select the first cell is the gross profit for the year, then you press control. You don't leave control, you continue pressing control while clicking on the cell. The other one was profit before tax. You don't hold control until you select everything. This one can come maybe in data visualization where you want to visualize. So you select them with control. Maybe you are to visualize, you come to data insert, you go to recommended charts here. Then you select the graph that will be used. So you can see now it only selected gross profit, profit before tax, and net profit. That one we are using control, and you hold on control while selecting the cells. It was their introduction, isn't it? Selecting multiple non-adjacent cells. You press on control and then you click on the cells. We'll go to the next slide, which is copying and pasting cells, isn't it? So to copy cells or a range of cells, you press Control C, while to paste, you press Control V. To paste copied cells with formatting, you press Control Alt V, isn't it? This one is called pasting with formatting, isn't it? Or special, paste special, isn't it? Or paste special. So if you want to paste special, you don't just do Control V, you just do Control Alt V. Example there in Excel. So we are still using this file here. So we can use the gross profit. So we want to copy maybe this gross profit and lay it somewhere else, isn't it? We just select it this way. You do Control C, then you paste here, Control V. You paste there, Control V. Isn't it? You've seen that it has been pasted with the formatting, isn't it? It has been pasted with the formatting. So when you see the green line rotating here, it means that the paste is still on the clipboard. So you can also paste it another place, isn't it? You can paste it another place, Control Z there. So if maybe you want to remove this one, just when you type anything, the rotating will be over, isn't it? That one has been just Control V, isn't it? It just pastes everything. Then we talked of Control Alt V. So I select the cells. So you must do Control C. Then maybe I'm pasting them here. Control Alt V. You press Control Alt V. The paste special pop-up will appear where you'll be. Now it will depend on how you want to paste it, isn't it? Maybe you want to paste while dividing it. There are some things that want it, isn't it? Maybe you want to only paste the formula. For example, here you can only paste the values only. Then you do OK. You can see now it has pasted without the formatting. You can see this one was in bold because you just pasted. Sorry, I'm trying to shout a lot because I unfortunately forgot my mic. So what I'm saying is that here it pastes without the formatting, isn't it? Again, you can see it is still rotating. So I can just press Control Alt V. It will appear the paste special pop-up will appear, isn't it? Maybe I want them to be transposed. Transpose is to change the layout from columns maybe to rows, isn't it? If I take on transpose, you can see it has been transposed in that it has been this way from being that way, isn't it? Okay, I'll be sending the notes again to the WhatsApp group, the December group, isn't it? We'll continue to something else. So we've talked of copying and pasting cells, and we have also talked of paste special. Then we'll go to undo and redo. So to undo is to do the last action that you did, isn't it? Maybe you passed, then you do Control Z. While to redo the undo, you do Control Y. I'll show you that one. Sometimes English is just trying to be more confusing, but it's not a big deal there. Then to insert a new row, you press Control Shift plus, isn't it? That's what I was saying. To insert a new row, Control Shift plus, while to delete a row will be Control minus. Remember, the plus button is together with the equal sign button. So you must press Shift for it to change to be plus, isn't it? When you see on your keyboard, you can see plus and equal sign together, isn't it? And the two are very important. So you change them with Shift, isn't it? Even if you want to write just plus alone, you'll have to press Shift before you press the plus button. While if you want to write equal sign, you just press equal sign, isn't it? Then to delete the content, you just press delete. When you look on your keyboard, you'll see some place there written delete, isn't it? So just press delete to delete them. Then on formatting cells, so to apply bold formatting, you press Control Bold, but I'll show you a keyboard shortcut for formatting, isn't it? Then italics, Control I, underline, Control U, display the format cell dialog box, Control 1. I also show you the shortcut, isn't it? So we are here in the Excel. So we are talking of to redo and do, isn't it? Control Z. So remember this one I had pasted here, isn't it? And maybe I realized I didn't need to transpose it, isn't it? I do Control Z. It takes me back. Well, now if I want to come in front, I do Control Y. It comes in front, isn't it? The do and the other one is to redo the undo. So the undo can go up to 5 times, isn't it? So I'll be pressing Control Z. I'm going back, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. You can see it is going back up to where I was, isn't it? Control Z. I'm just going with Control Z, isn't it? Up to there, up to where I was creating the chart, isn't it? Then if I want now to come in front, it's Control Y. So I'm pressing Control. I'm holding on Control Y, pressing Y multiple times, isn't it? It takes me in front where I was. Isn't so if you made an error, you can go back and correct the error and continue, isn't it? You don't do Control Y because it will take you back where you are, isn't it? So, and the other one we were talking of, inserting the cells, and that one I already showed you. I think so. Again, we'll just maybe repeat it. So, if I wanted to insert a cell here, isn't it? Remember to take this whole column. I said you press Control Shift, isn't it? So if I want to insert, it will be Control Shift plus, isn't it? I inserted the cell. Isn't it? For example, maybe I forgot. Maybe like I can say depreciation. I just insert the cell there and I continue doing it. Isn't the difference between the manual and doing it in Excel? Isn't, if you forgot anything, you just insert the cell and continue. And maybe I skipped a cell which I didn't want it to be there. I select it again with Shift space, then Control minus. I remove the cell. Then the other thing we talked was I think what did we talk again? Let me just confirm. We talked of also deleting the cell. You just delete the cell. For example, I want to delete this part. I just select it and I press delete on the keyboard. Some of the very common keyboard shortcuts. Then we went to formatting cells. So I'll prefer that you don't use the keyboard shortcuts in formatting. Formatting, you can use this box here. You can follow my cursor. This box here is where you can use you can apply formatting. For example, I wanted this one to be bold because I can just use here. So it was not in bold and it is a title. I'm presenting my work. I want it to be in bold. I just select it. Then I press bold, isn't it? I can do also press this one for italics, isn't it? You just make maybe your total to be a little bit different so that it is easily seen during examination time. Again, what's happening? So I think because it being the first class, there's no problem. Most of these things will be coming to see them. This is just the introduction part to Excel, isn't it? Then we go to pivot tables. So pivot tables are powerful tools for summarizing and analyzing large data sets. To create a pivot table, select the data you want to analyze and go to the Insert tab, select Pivot Table. You can drag and drop fields into the row. So this one is mainly useful in data analysis. Maybe just a minute, I can open the file, the Excel file on that one. That one is on dashboarding because it is analyzing and because it is reporting. So just a minute, the one. Okay, so let me share the Excel file. Here it is. Sorry, I want this one. Okay, so you are given a data like this one, isn't it? And you want to summarize it. You want to see maybe because we only have 3 months. This one is a short data, but actually the pivot table is used to do the data analysis, isn't it? So maybe you are presenting a dashboard to your organization, so you can use a pivot table. So first you select the data you want. Then you go to the Insert tab here. Then you can see pivot table here at the left here, isn't it? You can also click on the recommended. You can see now it is giving a summary, isn't it? A summary by class. You can see it will be giving a summary like this. So maybe because we don't want a recommended one, we want maybe ourselves to create a pivot table. We just go to pivot table here. We'll be asked to choose where you want the pivot table to be placed. So you can click on a new worksheet. It will create a new worksheet that way. Isn't it? So it depending on how you want to analyze it, isn't it? Maybe we can start with class. You just click on it there. You can see that the class comes in, isn't it? Then you can do amount. The amount will come at the sum values, isn't it? So sometimes if it doesn't come to the sum value here, you just take it and you drag it to the sum values there. So because I'm recording currently, I'll be repeating on the solver. Also checking the solver, you just click on the data tab, then you go to the very bottom here and see if you have the data analysis and the solver on. So this was our data here. You can see this was the data and it was not in a summarized form. This one, you don't present to a manager data like this, isn't it? So managers want some simplified data. You can see now it is giving us total current assets, total current liabilities, isn't it? It is giving us everything, isn't it? You can just use the two there. For example, so I'll be clicking the off that one. Then I go back to data. So the one asking, you check here, you go to data at the ribbon up here, then you check data analysis and solver. If they are here, it means they are on. You can perform analysis on them. Vital also for pivot table. So you are to go to insert. Maybe I want to see the monthly performance. You can see the data there doesn't have the monthly performance. So after going to insert here, you can click on slicer and you check the slicer as a monthly slicer. Isn't it? You can now maybe make the slicer small, isn't it? So maybe if I want to take on October, I just click and I see, you can see the values are changing. Maybe I'm using, you can say, I can select this data here and I can do with visualization so that maybe it is easily seen. I can use with that visualization, maybe home. So let me pin this one down so that it doesn't move. Then I'll be back here to this one. I want to edit it. So I'll go to design. I can click here, maybe I want a design that is maybe like this one, a design that is easily seen. Then I can consider removing the grid line. So remember, this is just introduction. We'll be under data visualization, this is what we'll be doing, so don't worry. So you can see this is monthly. So if I want to maybe November, you can see that the November changed, isn't it? If I click on December, the values change, isn't it? And if I want maybe October and November, after I use control, as you are learning with control, isn't it? So you press control and you click on October. The blue one will be the one selected. So this one will be for October and November. So that is the pivot table. Just an introduction of it. We will also look at it much later under dashboards. So we'll continue here. So we've looked at the pivot table. So we said the pivot tables are a powerful tool for summarizing and analyzing large data sets. Isn't it? You've seen it has the data was very large and that one was small. It can analyze very large data sets, isn't it? And summarize them in a very easy to understand method. That's why it comes under also visualization and reporting. So for the one asking, actually we just want you to know this is introduction to Excel, isn't it? So just know that it exists and it summarizes data. Later on at the practical part, we'll be looking much deeper on that one, isn't it? Then we'll go to common functions. So we'll go to some of the common functions, and before we go to common functions, let's just take a minute and we'll be back, isn't it? I think just a minute. I check on my internet. So like we have a 5 minutes break because I took 1 hour. My place the power went off. So 5 minutes break. Then we are back on common functions in Excel, isn't it? Just introduction. Don't worry. It may look Greek now, but later on it will be very easy as we go by, isn't it?